I mean, Lamar Jackson really is the story. He's not really a story. I mean, he's the must-watch, clear running.
The story really is how did he last to the end of the first round? Talent evaluators on TV saying he really kind of maybe show his wares as an NFL quarterback, and then give Baltimore credit. I think they traded up until the bottom of the first round to get him.
Yeah.
Supposedly because you were insisted on it.
Yep, and separated from a Super Bowl winner.
Right. So you got 4 or 5 other quarterbacks that got picked ahead of him. The one thing I've always said is that the NFL does a horrible job of evaluating quarterbacks. Right? There's been a lot of first-round bust quarterbacks. Find a quarterback, so maybe you'll push a guy up further up on the draft board. You saw the kind of flack the Giants took in terms of picking Daniel Jones as high as they picked him. But the NFL, it's not easy to evaluate whether or not a quarterback can translate from college into the pros. Especially now in college, where you get these guys playing all these, the spread offense, right? Where maybe you're not going through progressions, you're not doing stuff that an NFL quarterback needs to do. But then you take a look at someone like Lamar Jackson, who played kind of like in a limited system. And as long as you build the infrastructure around him and kind of build an offense for him, he can be successful. Is that the trend? I don't know.
I can't disagree with anything you just said. The NFL quarterback, the college quarterback, you could sit on a bar stool or play in a golf outing or sit at a dinner table with a bottle of wine. We could talk about it for hours. You have no idea. You play at these elite college levels also. You're getting the best coaching, potentially the best protection.
Can't tell.
You could have 2 number 1 receivers, NFL first and second round receivers. It could mask a weaker quarterback. There's no two ways about it. I mean, like you said, the draft over the past 20 years is littered with guys like that.
Sure.
I mean, let's go rewind sports radio the 6 months before Brady Quinn was drafted. Mattered. I mean,
Sure.
We could obviously, go down the easy road of Ryan Leaf, what have you, but of course, Jamarcus Russell. And then people say now, oh yeah, I knew. No, you didn't know. That was 6 months of sports radio. Should we take Jamarcus Russell?
Jamarcus Russell got picked overall by the Oakland Raiders.
He was out of football in a year and a half.
Because he threw the ball 70 yards
on his knees.
On one knee.
Yeah. Correct.
And Al Davis went crazy and said, I got to add this.
Correct. Bill Belichick sees that scouting report. He drew his mouth at the different things that he could care less about that particular skill set.
The teams that separate themselves are the teams that evaluate the quarterbacks they have in-house that they could potentially draft. And that's not I know Parcells had his little formula, right? That he wanted to see a quarterback who had 3 years of starts and at least was, at least had 23 wins, had a completion percentage over 60%. He had this little formula, team captain and stuff like that. That's the way you evaluate whether or not you're going to pick a quarterback in the first round. Nowadays, quarterbacks start for a year to come into the NFL and they get picked high.
Did Bill Parcells even draft a quarterback in the first round, or am I missing? I mean, Giants never drafted a quarterback.
I'm trying to think. Well, I guess he was
not with Bill Parcells.
Drew Bledsoe, I think, was when he got there. I think
I don't know.
So I think
it's dangerously close, but I don't know the answer.
I think he pulled the trigger on Drew Bledsoe.
Okay.
And then when he ran the Dolphins, did he pick a quarterback? Well, he famously passed on Matt Ryan and picked the offensive line. I think was in charge of the Dolphins. So. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Because frankly, if we're going to get any enjoyment out of New York football, we have to hope that these 2 quote-unquote franchise quarterbacks that the Jets and the Giants have put, all their chips into the middle of the table pan out to be franchise quarterbacks. But there's a big question mark on both of them, right?
It's one of the greatest conversations. I wouldn't even say argument. It's a great conversation. I really would love to get a deep thinking front office guy on the Com Mazza radio show of what goes into this, because we read about really what goes into the quarterback selection. It's crazy how much of a variable it is.
A lot of factors.
I mean, I went to that Super Bowl with Trent Dilfer in that stadium. You could have put anybody behind that offense. That defense was so great that year. They basically now they had the kickoff return and a couple of the good punt returns in the game with wasn't Jamal Lewis, Jermaine Lewis, I think actually was the returner. They had the 2 Lewises. And for people who forget about that Super Bowl, the Giants and Ravens had back-to-back kickoff returns, right, for touchdowns. Rod Dixon and then Jermaine Lewis. That run of the Ravens that year, to me, it just showed that how many different parts of the game there are, right? I forgot who they beat the first round, and then they went into, was that a Gruden? That wasn't a Gruden Raider team. that the Grudem Raider team? The Raider team was
You're talking
phenomenal.
about the year the Ravens beat the Giants. in the
Yes,
Super Bowl?
they went into the Raiders in the AFC Championship game and took them apart. I don't think that was Gruden, but I could be wrong. It was close to Gruden. So, but anyway, Trent Dilfer was a guy who got run out of Tampa Bay. Run out.
He was a high draft pick.
They crushed him. They hated him. They throw him in the back of that offense.
Football's changed too much even since then. I don't think you can win a Super Bowl with a game manager. I don't think so. I don't see it. I think football now has become so much pass oriented. They throw the ball down the field in tight windows.
I was reading
I think.
I was reading a stat today, and we'll get into this about the decade, and the Wall Street Journal actually had a great article the other day, definitely worth reading, about analytics and how much it's changed the sports. They didn't get into hockey, but they got into the big three. We'll talk about this in a segment, but passes out of the shotgun have flipped in a decade. It was 35%, now it's pushing 65%. Plays out of the shotgun.
I remember when the Cowboys first started the shot.
It was incredible.
It was like,
you
what?
yeah,
What
you
is
exactly. I was thinking of this. You're on
What is he doing?
you're on your couch going, "What's he doing?"
Shot.
And then Danny White was in the shotgun constantly. I think Danny White took every play out of the shotgun, if I'm not mistaken.
Could be, but the Cowboys kind of started that whole shotgun thing. Landry, yeah. I guess the whole idea was
Montana-
away from the line. I guess.
Montana had the Niners actually had those quick passes. All those years where they basically
They
eliminated.
had a lot of shotgun.
No, he made those
I
quick
think the West
passes
Coast
from
offense-
under center.
Yeah, it's all about timing with the West Coast.
He
offense.
made those. It was a 3. He would hit those bullets to Taylor and Rice
Yeah.
from under center.
Now it's all shotgun, like you said.
It's
I
unbelievable.
mean, now you see a quarterback on the center, and you're like, well, what's going on here, right?
All right, let's take a quick break. That's 21 minutes. That's a little long. I'm getting winded. Hey, Mike Vaccaro joins us, our best friend of the show. No offense to Charlie DiBiase and Mike Puma, but Vaccaro just texted me he'll be on at 10:30. Mike's probably caught in that same shop right that my wife's in right now, Joe. Holiday shopping. He's texting his wife going, "What's that Comp Mazda number?" I said I was jumping on. He'll join us at 10:30. So for you people who just love Vaccaro, you can log off and we'll see you back in an hour and 10 minutes. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Comp Mazda Radio. We'll be right back.
From the Metropolitan
Wanna talk
Campus
about gambling?
You're listening to
Yeah,
You don't sound right.
Me?
Something's not, yeah, it sounds a
Something's
little...
not right.
Oh, no, come on. This could be the day where Lauren Michaels listens to us, too.
Play some Christmas music.
I love these
Yeah, it's
pants.
not your voice, right? You don't.
Pants.
Sounds a little on the
Yeah, something's up.
staticky.
Let's check that mic.
I love these pants. You find yourself wearing more pants that are like sweats?
Yes.